In the 1980s, John Lasseter was a brilliant animator working for Disney. In that moment, he was awarded with Oscars for short film animations, and he was inspired by another project of the same studio called Tron. I have to tell you that I also was inspired to build my career by that movie. What Lasseter has in mind was to take the technology that they were using, that Disney was using in that moment, to create films using this technology. For that reason, and because he presented the project to Disney, he was fired. The executives of Disney basically said, if the project is not going to be cheaper or faster, then we're not going to do it. Another person that was working with George Lucas in that moment, which is Ed Catmull, decided to invite Lasseter to join a new division of Lucasfilm. Together, they built a computer called the Pixar. And with that, they started creating the first project for 3D animations in computers. As Lucas in time were not interested into moving in that same direction, and because it doesn't have the capital to continue, they sell this division to Steve Jobs. What happens next is history. Pixar became one of the most important studios in the world, and years later, they joined Disney, and John Lasseter was welcome back. The lesson I took from this story, this inspiring story of John Lasseter, is that there is always a way back, even though sometimes you are not in control of the events beyond you. Today, NetEase, the studio behind Marvel Rivals, one of the best games of the end of last year and the beginning of this year, 2025, has decided to lay off people. In fact, they're closing an entire US division. Why? That's a really good question. But it creates a really bad reputation in the industry. Honestly, even gamers are pissed because they know how difficult it is to have a really great game in the last years. And now that they build a great team that create a great product, they desire to fire the team? How does that make sense? Now you probably are asking the question, is this a good time to work in video games? And I've been working, I'm trying to express myself, open the conversation about why this has been happening in the last months and years in the industry. And I'm extremely concerned about the bad perception that it is generating. Why? Because thanks to wrong managing decisions of people that do not understand the industry, or maybe they do not understand the people that are playing the games, they are affecting families, they are affecting teams, they are affecting dreams of people that thought for a second that they achieve it, that different to other studios that are doing horrible things, they did something great and they are going to continue doing it. We have the bad reputation of studios that create horrible products, but now we have the studios that create a great product and is laying off people. So imagine what is the perception of the new talents that wants to be part of the gaming industry, and they are trying to build their dreams on this and say, oh, maybe this is not a good idea after all. Imagine that that person can create the great new game that you want to play, and we are missing the opportunity to play that game. Thank you, industry, for doing something like this. I've been part of several layoffs, and I have to tell you guys, it's not fun, because one day you finish your work on Friday and you are inspired for what you are creating, you love the team you are part of, and then on Monday they tell you and your friends and other families and other people that they are going to be laid off because they lost the funding or because a reason like Marvel's that I still don't understand. I built this channel because I feel the responsibility and the desire to give a legacy for the new generation of people that wants to create their dreams. I started doing this when I was 40, when I have a solid work, and I decided that I wanted to do this because I love to do this. But I also made big mistakes that I don't want you to repeat. I want you to learn from that. Does that mean that you should not enter into the gaming industry even though inside of you, you know that this is exactly what you wanted to do all your life? The simple answer is no. but you need to be prepared and not put all the eggs on the same basket. When we're talking about the gaming industry and the path to becoming a game developer, you have one advantage that you cannot find in many industries. For example, let's say that you are working in the oil and gas industry, which is a really huge industry. In the moment that they fire people, you don't have other options. You just have to find another industry as big as that one. But you cannot do your job, you cannot use your knowledge unless you are connected to the industry, because you need big installations, because you need a lot more people to work with them. You depend on the people on the other side of the big people on the other side. But to create a path in the gaming industry, you only depend on yourself. Even more, you can also be working in oil and gas and building your career in video game one step at a time beyond your office hours and prepare for the future and to work in something that you always dreamed of. What are the keys for you? Well, first you have to be consistent. You have to dedicate at least 1 hour to build this dream daily. And the other thing is that you have to divide your time, because you have on one side to learn, to create, to do something, and on the other side you have to share it. We've been talking about the importance of this, and we're going to delve a little bit more in this conversation. A moment ago I mentioned the case of a person that is working on the oil and gas where the salaries are really high. But you can be working as well on Walmart or in a cafeteria, and you can start building your career in video games. This is the reality, and this is why this industry is so special, because you can build your own path. But don't forget to keep the plan of create and share. Even if you are working in the gaming industry, even if you are working in a big studio, like the case that we are presenting here, you need to continue doing that after office hours, before office hours, but do the things that are going to impact you directly and things that you can control. The thing at risk here is your future, is what you're going to do afterwards. If on other cases you are out of the gaming industry and you're starting to build your career in the gaming industry, and you did the due diligence of create and share, and you find a job opportunity in the gaming industry, continue doing the create and share, because you are preparing yourself for the future. By keeping you consistent in following these steps, you open possibilities for your future to do alliances that can help you build something bigger. You never know when you can find that Ed Catmull that is looking for your talent. The create part is your exploration, is to discover how you can build the games that you always wanted to build. And believe me, the process of learning this, it's an amazing process. It's something that makes the time reduce, and you feel that you are in the zone when you are learning and you are creating the things that you want to build. Even more exciting is the possibility that you can use these technologies not only for creating video games, but cinematography, architecture, VR, AR. There are so many areas to explore where you can find your true inspiration, your true creativity spirit, and move forward in the direction of your own happiness. The sharing is about taking what you learned or taking the things that you are working on and present it on YouTube, presenting to the world on LinkedIn, to any social media. I recommend particularly YouTube is the best way to make connections with gamers. And these bridges that you're going to build are be essential in the future, because if they love what you are presenting, they could be gamers, they could be other developers, they could be other people that are trying to explore the same path that you are doing. These are the people that eventually can become your Kickstarter supporters, that can be your Patreons, that can be the people beside you or behind you, supporting you to build your career in video games. And the best thing of all is that you do not depend on the decisions of others, of big higher entities in big studios. You are deciding your path yourself. The possibilities are endless. I wanted to create this video because I want to tell you that your dream of working in video games is not broken. Do not let yourself feel beaten by the wrongdoings of others. You can build your own path. If you're ready to take the leap into the world of video game creation, let's talk. Through the Game Creator Accelerator, I'm guiding aspiring talents like you with a powerful two-phase methodology designed to turn your passion into a career opportunity. The phase 1 is about 8 weeks. You'll master the core technology needed to build your first fully functional game from scratch, while also going to prepare you for the social media and learning the key strategies to kickstart your journey. The phase 2, that's exciting. There is no time limit here because this is where we focus on launching your career. I'll work with you to take that next big step, transforming your skills into real opportunities so you can start working in the industry you always dreamed of. If you're ready to make this happen, check the description and book a time with me. I promise it'll be a conversation that could change everything. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next tips for developing your career in video games, the use of technology, and more. Leave me your comments and thoughts about the challenges you are facing. What is stopping you from starting? Until next time, keep creating, keep sharing, and most importantly, keep dreaming big. I'll see you soon, my fellow creators.